Hello, hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives for episode 6!
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa, indeed. My name is Owen. I'm the Dungeon Master for our campaign, The Tyranny of Dragons. However, this campaign, as you all know, is about the players, who'll introduce themselves and their characters right now.
Hey there, this is Simon. I'm playing your boy Wiltix, the lovely little gnome man who has gotten awful hairy lately. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Claire, I'm playing Mira, who's a Dragonborn Sorcerer. She's half red dragon, half silver dragon. And lately she's sticking her neck out a little bit too far, I think.
She's being a very stealthy woman.
Very stealthy. Yeah.
Ahoy everyone, I'm Andrew. I'm playing Azure, the Protector Aasimar monk. It's gotten a little bit more angel-like in the last episode, but we'll see what happens further as we progress.
Hello everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Emeric. In a way, he is sort of the polar opposite of Azure. He's a bit more turning devilish every day. Well, maybe not devilish. He's definitely an arsehole there.
Is that the character or the play?
Whoa there!
The shade.
Hey there. I'm very nice.
You're a delight. You're all delights.
Moving on.
I'd like to thank everyone who's been listening to the podcast and clearly who've been sharing it with their friends. Thank you so much. We hit 400 as of an hour ago, 400 listeners. So thank you so much.
Bring that on us.
First time I'm telling these guys. Really exciting. Yeah. So thank you so much. The best way that you can support us, keep listening if you're enjoying it. Keep sharing it with your friends. Hit that like and subscribe button. I did it. I said I wouldn't, but I did. No, keep on listening, and if you've got any comments, anything you want to say to us, hit us up on YouTube in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm going to be putting up a Twitter feed in the next couple of days. Feel free to chase us down on Twitter. If you've got any questions about how we're doing things, some of the custom rules, please feel free to hit us up. I'm going to be doing a video on some of the homebrew rules that we're doing. I know I keep saying that. I am going to do it, because I'm sure some of you are now aware that Melbourne and Victoria as a whole having a bit of an issue at the moment with coronavirus, so I think we're going to have a lot more free time to do things like that in the next little bit. So anyone who's free to join me out of the players, we'll just do a really quick sort of overview of each of the homebrew rules that we're doing. We can take you guys through that. So if you've got any questions or requests, chuck them up on that Twitter feed and we'll get to them and answer your questions. But I think we're going to jump into the adventure, and as you all know, our adventure began in the bustling merchant city of Oxenford at the lodge of the League of Adventurers, an organisation of explorers, mercenaries, and heroes. Our members of the Tempest Adventuring Guild, Mira, Emeric, Azure, and Wiltix, have travelled to the town of Greennest, just as a blue dragon, kobolds, bandits were sacking the settlement. After assisting the town's guard and fending off a lot of these attackers, a large blue dragonborn, Langdedrosa, a character Mira had known from her childhood, offered to trade some captive villagers in exchange for a champion's challenge, a sacred rite where two fighters battle for honour and glory. Emeric took up this challenge, but was bested by Langdedrosa's furious attacks and a lack of spell slots.
You bet me to it.
And whose fault was that?
Yeah, it was my fault. As the raiders departed, Langdedrosa had offered Mira a chance to join the order, the cult, which she refused. After recovering in the keep, the party were met by Nessim, a monk who'd been travelling with Leosin, a friend or brother of Azure. We're still sort of figuring out where he sits. Azure hasn't shared exactly the connection he has with this individual, who it turns out had been captured by the Order. They followed the trail left by the cults, talked their way past some straggling members, and dealt with the rear guard who were setting up camp between some bluffs. They were able to defeat this rear guard, take their clothes and weapons as disguises, and infiltrated the camp, pretending to be this rear guard, which was a very, very clever ploy to get past them. They learned that 3 mercenary companies, the Red Suns, the Green Heart, and another unknown group had joined with the cult. After locating Leosin, bound to a stake at the back of the camp, the party have developed a complex plan involving distraction and fire to attempt to rescue him. The plan, however, has developed a slight hitch. After Mira was recognised by some of the cultists, Langdedrosa has been alerted to her presence, and Wiltix and Azure, literally the last thing that just happened, they spotted him leaving a large tent and mutter under his breath, "Ah, Mira, Now what are you up to? With a slight smile playing across his muzzle. And that is where we left things previously, and I'm going to bring you guys straight back across to the map. We're going to jump straight back into where we were before to see what we are going to be doing with the issue that you guys are currently facing. Let's drop you guys there. Alrighty. Perfect. So I've just zoomed out a little bit on the map for YouTube watchers so that you can see where all the characters are located. Basically, the way that things have been set up is the Raider camp is nestled on a bit of a gap between two rather large plateaus. And right at the very back of the camp is where this large command tent that Langdodrosa stepped out of from, and as well as a cave that the party had seen a number of wagons and a number of goods being transported into what they suspect is probably the location where most of the loot taken from Green Nest has been moved to. They also have spotted Leosin bound at the very back of the camp behind a group of tents that contain a number of other prisoners as well. So currently Azure and Wiltix are hiding behind this group of smaller, more ramshackle tents which house the prisoners, only about 15-20 feet away from where Leosin is currently tied up. There we go. Tied to this large crossbeam stake. Mira is currently located a little bit further to the north of the camp, right up in the north central area, hiding behind some large tents which had housed members of the Order, members of the cult, and underneath a watchtower located on one of the bluffs, jutting out into the middle of the camp. Emeric had chosen to ingratiate himself with the mercenaries and to move through the camp, drinking and telling stories, something he was actually rather successful with. But the last rolls that all the party did were some incredible stealth rolls, so as far as you guys know, you haven't been spotted, you haven't been... no one's been alerted to your presence, apart from Mira, who went and chatted to some guards at the cavern entrance and basically just revealed, like, hey, there's a special, really like unique looking silver and red Dragonborn here who's like saying suspicious shit.
Thank you, Owen. Yes,
we dropped the ball on that one, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would you guys like to do? Did you want to quickly run through your plan again? So what we can do is we can quickly pause time so that you guys can quickly talk through what your plan was in case people have forgotten from the last episode.
I think our plan was that you three were going to go down and free the prisoner while Emeric was going to start causing a bit of a ruckus, bit of a distraction, and sort of draw more attention up to the north and the south.
Yeah, I think that was like the main crux of it. But then we were also going to cause a bit of a fire ruckus, hopefully attributed to the raucous drinking.
Yes, that could definitely come about. That, or I was thinking a big brawl could erupt soon.
Oh, fantastic!
So
which could cause the fire, which and
guards are going to have to probably come over to the brawl and break it up. So that might alleviate some of the pressure off you guys. But Mira did try some sneaky things. Try to find some cool items that the priest was stolen from the priest.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that might have bit us in the bum a little bit.
I am hidden though, so I am hidden behind those tents, and I'm just kind of waiting for your signal.
You are. So currently the only people who know about Langdodrosa are Azure and Wiltix. Emeric and Mira, you have no idea about this. Because of the distance you are from the tent as well as the positioning. Like, there are many tents in the way, structures, people. Even though Langdodrosa is like 7 feet tall and stands out, a bit far away for you guys.
Oh, 100% no. I would not know he was there.
No. So what we'll do is we'll literally jump into that exact second where Langdodrosa steps out, looks around, says his line about what Mira's up to, and then he, along with this cultist here, begin to walk back towards the cavern entrance. And at this point, it looks like all 4 of these here are in a very intense conversation. So Langdodrosa is talking to the three cultists, the 3 members of the Order. And he's got his back currently turned to Azure and Wiltix.
I'll bend down to Wiltix and do we see this? Can we see it from where we...
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, you guys can absolutely see this.
So I just turned down and I whisper, it's like, I think they've I think they've worked out who asked the question. It doesn't look like Mira's ploy worked very well.
No. In hindsight, the one dragon that we have in our group probably shouldn't have been trying to convince the rest to get away. Do we want to try and take this opportunity now to get your friend while Landadros is
in conversation?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's dark enough. They're effectively looking right at us.
What time is it? That's true. What time is it actually, Owen?
Yeah.
Very good question. The sun is currently just starting to set over the top of one of the plateaus. Because this is in a gap between two rather large mountainous plateaus, it's probably only about sort of 4:35 o'clock, but the sun has now cast quite large shadows as it sinks behind one of the main plateaus. You guys are in like a dusk-style darkness, a dusk level of darkness.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
This is the best time.
It's magic hour.
Yeah, it's golden hour.
It's
Get the
Golden
camera
hour.
out.
It's either now or 3 a.m.
Yeah, you see the kangaroos start to run across the roads. It's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just revealed.
Very relatable for most of our international listeners.
Yeah. Sorry, that just gave it away, didn't it?
Oh god.
My bad.
Owen, with my minor illusion, can I ask?
Yes.
I know it's a 5-foot cube,
Yes.
but am I able to squish/stretch that so it would be like a very flat screen?
So you're really limited to the 5-foot cube, unfortunately. So you can make any shape within that 5-foot cube. So it's less about making a full 5-foot cube. It's more about that's the limits, the boundaries of the shape. But what you can do, you would know after casting this. You've used this before during the interrogation. As long as you can put something to fill the bottom half or the top half or the side halves, you can make do. Like you can do enough of a deception that it. You can fill in the space. So, for example, when you guys did the interrogation, you just did an illusion for Azure's face to make it look like a mask. So, you might have to be a little bit creative with it. But, yeah.
Are you thinking that could you minor illusion the prisoner on the
cross or whatever? Your friend
and then we can switch him over.
But I can only create an illusion so large. I mean, large for me, but. Not so large for everyone else. Are there any carts or anything nearby you think we could slightly use to obscure the view of the prisoner?
Do you want to make me a perception check, and I'll give you a little bit more information about the area you guys are both in. And Azure, if you want to help him.
I'll give you advantage.
Beautiful. Yeah, Wiltix, you can roll perception check with advantage. Oh, lucky you had advantage. First roll's an 8.
Yeah.
Nice.
15's good. So the tents that you guys are currently hiding behind seem to be mostly areas to keep prisoners and workers. It looks like the Order use prisoners to help dig out sections, break rocks, clean armor, clean weapons, under very close supervision for the weapons, and they are handcuffed for that. But they're used for manual labor, basically like slaves. What you can see is there is a cart located behind the back of one of the tents. It looks like it was originally used to shovel or move rocks from one location to another, and one of the prisoners has left it here. You can see there are a couple of prisoners tied up inside the main tent behind you, this 15-foot wide tent. The rest are much smaller, only about 5-10 feet. But this one directly where you guys are, there are 2 prisoners currently tied up. Both look to be perception 15. Both look to be either unconscious or dead.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well,
I know this is morbid, Wiltix, but we could take one of those prisoners that life has left them and switch him out for our friend on the cross, and with your minor illusion we could just cover his face. That should cover us for...
That's an idea, depending on how long it could take us. Otherwise, if we use the cart and leave it in front of your friend, that might cover the lower half of his body, and I can illusion an image of the top half. So
I will quickly say, because you would know how this spell works, Wiltix, if your plan is to replace him with a minor illusion...
Oh, no, not replace, just an image
of him.
Cool. He's obviously flat on the cross. I was just hoping to do a...
that's
so at least
all good.
people further... Because I'm assuming, just looking from the map here and people that are listening instead, our character's in the southeast-ish
Yeah,
of the
exactly
map.
right. Yeah.
And I'm assuming that there's a good 40, 50 feet away from any other real guards that are probably in the area at least. I mean, so
Yeah, so I've put people on relevant who you need to be aware of. So the main tent is obviously quite heavily guarded, but they're mainly focused on the main tent. And this group here, over by the cave, which is the combination of Langdodrosa, this is in the far east of the map, Langdodrosa and the 3 cultists. They are deep in conversation at this point. They are not paying attention to anything else around them from what you can... Like, with your perception check of 15, they're not paying any attention to the prisoners. They're only talking to each other. One of them is gesturing inside the cave, and they seem to be having a pretty intense conversation, but under hushed breath. They're making sure that they can't be overheard at this point.
Okay, well, Azure, do we want to make the move now, and then hopefully, Emeric will start his distraction as we're getting your friend off the...
let's move the wagon into place and make...
Did you want to replace someone on the cross in his place, or...?
I think that's probably a good idea. At least that way they...
You might have to help handle the body. I'm not...
No, that's okay. But I think we do it in stages. Let's get the cart in the way first. Wait, and then we'll switch out the bodies.
Okay. Well, because I'm quite not the tallest of fellows, I can stand on the side closest to the edge of the wall, and hopefully slowly move that cart in front without people noticing too much. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Would you need a hand?
With the cart, I'm assuming I wouldn't, just because it's going to be on wheels. I don't think that's the issue. But once I get it in front, maybe then you can quickly duck out from behind and start undoing the shackles as I keep the illusion up.
Sounds
Alrighty,
good.
so what... You guys have already made stealth checks, so do you want to... You can just move up and do this. This is... Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to move up.
You need to do.
I'm going to move up behind him and keep him between me and the guys up in the...
Absolutely.
Northeast. What I'm going to do before I take him off, I'm going to put my hand over his mouth, and I'm going to use healing hands, because he's unconscious at this point. Is that correct?
So as you approach, you can see that he is... From a distance, he's still and unmoving, head bowed, arms tied up on either side to the sides of the cross that is holding him a breath. I should say it's an X-shaped cross rather than a Jesus-style cross.
Yep.
So his arms are being held splayed apart. He looks to be unconscious. As you approach, with your stealth, he doesn't spot you. So it's only when you place your hand over his mouth that his head sort of shoots up and his eyes turn wide and look towards you. And there's a moment of shock, joy, and then irritation crosses his eyes. He does look hurt. So do you want to do your healing hand? So this is your Aasimar ability. How many healing hands do you give it?
I'll give him 3 hit points.
3 hit points. I'll mark that off. Very nice.
Very handy.
Very handy.
And then I'll
he goes to go, but your hand's covering his mouth.
All right. Well, now that he's looking at me,
yep.
I'll take my hand off slowly.
He looks at you and goes, Azure? What are you doing here?
Well, we heard you'd been taken, so of course I had to come. Couldn't leave you with these people.
I'm here on a very important mission, Azure. I need to complete this.
And you're going to do that tied to a stake in the ground, are you?
Look, there've been some complications with the plan.
Well, look, we'll get you out. We'll get you out. We've got a plan. We're going to switch you out with one of the poor fellows in there who sadly didn't make it, and then we can try and complete this mission together.
I've learned a lot, but there's more I could learn here. They're interrogating me, but at the same time, I'm getting information from them, Azure.
So do you want us to leave you here?
Well, no. Get me down.
All right. So remain quiet. Do I need to make a sleight of hand check to see what I can undo his?
So he's tied with rope. So if you want to untie it, that'd be a sleight of hand.
13.
Yeah, 13 does it. You just nimbly undo the ropes around his hands, his waist, and then his ankles. While this
What
is
I'll do
going
is
on,
I'll kind of go, like,
this
I'll
is going
is
on,
I'll kind of go, like, put my shoulder underneath his elbow, underneath the crook of his arm, to like support him as I undo all the
very
cords.
nice. Yeah, he doesn't stumble, he doesn't make any noise. I'm going to roll a stealth check for him with advantage because of you helping him in that way. And the question I want to know, I want to make sure that you can see his rolls publicly because he is, for the purposes of this, he's going to be a character. So let me just quickly see.
Just want one of us to roll a d20 for you?
Oh, no, it's okay, because I've actually got him as a character. I just want to quickly make sure. So can you see his nameplate really quickly?
No.
No.
How about now?
Yep.
Yes.
Beautiful. And I'm going to roll a stealth check for him. Let me know if you can see this. And he's got advantage. Yes. Beautiful. Nice.
18, yeah. Nice.
He's invisible. So yeah, you help him down silently. He's completely silent as you help him down. He doesn't even, he sort of winces a little bit but makes no noise as the blood starts to flow back through his arms and hands. He sort of wrings them a little bit and then looks towards Wiltix and then looks back at Azure and goes, You've got a friend. New friend?
Yes, this is the Tempest Guild. I'll tell you more about them later. But this is Wiltix.
Wiltix,
hello.
It's a pleasure. Have you got a plan to get out of here, or is this one of Azure's normal plans where you just wing it?
At the moment it's just a winging it kind of thing, but we wanted to see how hurt you were going to be before we decided how we got out of here. But for the moment, let's just get you into that tent over there, and we'll get our poor fellow up on this Azure replacement.
Oh, I'd prefer if you didn't just hang a prisoner here. Are they alive?
Sadly, no.
Have you checked that?
Do
you want to make me a medicine? Do you want to make me a medicine check?
Yeah, why not?
I can.
14.
What's it? They are dead.
Though, if you failed that,
They are dead.
you'd have no idea.
Yeah, it's a body.
Schrodinger's body.
It's alive or dead until I check.
That would have been pretty funny. Yeah, they are. It is a dead body. Yes.
It is dead. I've checked.
Are you
I'll check for a pulse, but I'm almost certain that sadly the life has left this realm.
So the body that you've got, there were two people up on the stakes in the tent. One of them was a female, so obviously you didn't grab that one. This one is a male, much darker skin than Leosin, and it's a human. So Leosin has slightly pointed ears. He looks to be more half-elf than human, whereas this is very clearly a human, very rounded ears, slightly darker skin. Just so that you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, as long as he's wearing hands and foot coverings. Then
he's
I'm sure
wearing
he'll
very threadbare cotton pants and a very, very threadbare torn shirt, stained with the unmistakable signs of dried blood.
Azure, do you want to tie your lifeless friend there up?
So Leosin can go into here.
Yep.
Because there's no one in that one, I think.
Yep. You just point Leosin over to the tent. He moves over.
Oh, like
carrying
him over.
Yeah, absolutely. You assist him over, and that's contributes to the stealth roll before. So you guys are very, very silent while this is happening. Wiltix, what are you doing?
I'm crouched behind the cart which I've wheeled in front of the cross, and I'm holding a minor illusion of an image of him just before he got woken up and had his hand put in front of Azure. Essentially, like me taking a photo of what I was seeing and just putting it straight up onto that.
Fantastic.
Cross there.
Can you just roll me? What's your spellcasting ability? I believe it's Wisdom, or is it Intelligence?
No, I think it's Intelligence.
Must be Intelligence. Can you please make me an Arcana check in that case? Just want to see how well you copy with this image.
17?
Yeah, it's a perfect replica of Leosin. And you attach this minor illusion, and you're still hiding behind the cart that you rolled over to get there?
Yeah. I'll stay behind the cart just because I don't think people can see. Well, it's probably 5 foot, so it's probably going from about his knees up to his head or his hands.
Yeah, you can hide behind that, absolutely. What I'll do is I'll just put down, so that you guys know where he was, I'll just drop down a little icon. This is rather intense as icons go.
Oh,
Whoa!
hello. Oh,
For
yeah.
podcast listeners, it's a man strapped to a bloody wheel.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got some sort of liver damage, though. That looks a little bit
Yellow.
like... yeah,
He's a bit yellow.
He does look a bit yellow.
it's Ned Flanders attached to a wheel.
Oh, dear.
Oakley dokley, neighbor. So while that's happening, so Azure, you guide Leosin over to the tent, you sit him down. He looks at your water skin. May I have a drink? Is that okay?
I give him some rations and my
Yeah.
and my.
In between mouthfuls and gulps, he looks at you and goes, "Where have you been? I've been looking for you for years."
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we got so separated.
Yeah, the spell. We were supposed to be brought together from the Feywild to here. I don't understand where it went wrong.
I woke up, and it was I had no idea where I was. I can't even tell you the town I woke up in.
No, I was dazed and confused for a few days afterwards. I think it messed with our memories. And
Yeah, look, can you still remember the Feywilds?
for the most part, I remember growing up. I remember our childhood. I remember the Emerald Woods. I remember most of it. It's more the time afterwards.
There is definitely blanks in my memory for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and then because I had no idea where I was, I mean, the whole point of the Feywilds is they were hidden.
Yeah.
So it's not that we could go back and retrace our steps. So when fate brought me to you, I was like, this is it. We have to get, regardless of what happens or where we find each other.
Yes.
We had to do it.
Azure, this is our mission. This is what we were made for. I'm sure of it this time.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, as soon as I saw that blue dragon land in the town that we came from, I was like, this is clearly the right path. But well, we shall talk about this more.
Yes.
That's
You better get your friend Rick.
Are you hurt? I mean, I've got a healing potion if you need.
I'm okay. Your magic helped. I'm all right. I've been using my magic to heal myself. Very little, just so they don't notice. And it's what's kept me going.
All right, we'll talk more. I got to get this guy up onto to replace you, as it were.
Yes, right. I'll stay here. You just walk out of the tent. Yeah. Azure, you head back. Wiltix is just sitting behind his cart.
Take your time, Azure.
Sorry,
Just like
Wiltix.
sweat beading on his forehead as he keeps this cantrip going, this minor illusion going. Fantastic.
And, all right, I'll tie this guy up and.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So you guys are doing that. While that's happening with you two, we are going to jump over to Mira. Mira, what are you doing?
Oh, well, she's hiding behind all of that and just waiting to wait for Emeric to cause some sort of commotion so she can set fire to everything. So
Alrighty.
I'm just checking, scouting around, making sure I'm not being seen,
Yeah, so you quickly notice as you move in and
She's blushing, like there's pink on one side of her face and like a deep red on the other side of her face. Yeah.
As you get behind this tent, you notice that the watchtower above you, that's sort of 15 feet to the east and then up the side of this bluff, is manned. There are 2 guards currently sitting in it, very, as you watch them, because you've had a bit of time to sort of sit and watch them, and I'm assuming you try and sort of look a little bit nonchalant rather than just sort of standing in the open looking around like a frightened deer. With your stealth check of that high, you're doing a good job. You do notice that they're not really paying a huge amount of attention to the camp below. They're mostly looking out across the bluff here. However, every so often, maybe once every 10-15 minutes or so, one of the guards does go and lean on the side of the fence, looking out over the camp and taking it all in, watching for about a minute and a half, and then moves back over to the other side. And they're sort of doing this fairly regularly just to check in, but they're mostly focused on the outside of the camp.
So they're looking out over here, do you mean?
Yeah,
or
mostly out looking over the east and to the north. outside of the camp's boundaries, up on top of this rise, because the camp's located between the two bluffs and between the two plateaus. They're looking out across the top of the plateau in case an enemy comes from that direction and rains down from the top of the camp.
Is there what else is kind of going on in the camp? People coming and going?
Yeah, do you want to make me a perception check? And I'll
Yeah.
roll me a perception check. Let's see what you see.
So good. Yeah, 2.
2. There are people. There's some tents. There's a guard tower. You're sort of looking around. You're like, yeah, people are using the tents. People are walking about. Doesn't seem to be much aim of where they're going. And because there's so many people, you very quickly lose track of one person that you're trying to focus on. And then you start up with someone new, and then a giant lizard walks in front of your vision, and that sort of takes your attention for a little bit. So you're finding it very hard to track any specifics of the camp's movements and activity.
Keeping my head down, just waiting to see. Waiting for my cue.
Alrighty.
Stage right.
And Emeric, we'll jump to you now.
All right. So we've been for I'd say an hour or two now. Probably a lot of feasting and drinking and getting rowdy, Owen, because we've had a few songs.
Yeah, you've been with these guys for about an hour because you took off before Wiltix
they did
and
all
Azure
this
set up down
stuff.
here. Yeah, so you've had about an hour. Mira was with Azure and Wiltix until just before then, so she's only been at her location for about 30 minutes. So yeah, you've got about an hour of time where you've been with the...
So Emeric could probably... It's starting to get dark now, so that was a signal. And it looks like... it looks like it's about time Emeric's thinking. So he's going to stand up, he's going to get a flagon of ale, and he's not really intoxicated. He's drunk a fair bit, but he's not like... Oh, actually, probably should do a constitution saving throw, actually.
Yeah, you can absolutely make me a con save.
Just see how he's actually travelling.
Question is, how much has Emeric been drinking? Has there been a
Look, he's had a good amount. I would say, if it was like us having a drink, I'd say he's drunk enough to get tipsy.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, because I was going to say that because that determines the outcome of the Constitution save. So yeah, Emeric is very tipsy, not drunk. You don't feel like your faculties have been too impaired, but you are. Yeah, you can feel your inhibitions slipping away.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So he's going to stand up and he's going to act a little bit more drunk than what he is, and he's going to walk through the crowd and he's going to look at some of the just a group of people. Yep. He's going to walk past them, and as he walks past, he's going to sort of pretend to sort of trip over, and actually he's going to fall into this group, ale going all over them.
Ooh. Can you make me I'll let you choose between performance or an acrobatics check, because you're sort of doing a little bit of both here.
Okay, so I reckon I'm going to say performance because he's putting it on.
You are putting it on, absolutely.
That's a 12.
12's good, yeah, absolutely. You stumble into this crowd of people. Describe what it looks like, because you succeed.
Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna be swaying back and forth. These guys are gonna just be sort of by themselves, whatever, just talking. I'm gonna sort of, I'm gonna stumble a little bit, and I'm gonna like shoulder the guy that's standing next to me, the closest, and I'm gonna go, "Oi, mate, watch what you're doing."
The person who you've shouldered, this large...
I get ale all over them, by the way.
Yeah, this large grey-skinned humanoid, dark tattoos running down, angular, very geometrically shaped tattoos running down the bald head, and then across the eyes, stands up to the full 6.5 feet tall, turns around and looks at you, and you recognize this as a Goliath.
So how tall is he?
6.5 feet.
6.5?
Yeah. So Goliaths, for those who aren't familiar with this...
How tall is that, though?
How tall is that?
In real measurements.
In metrics.
6.5 is like what? 6'6"?
It's like...
Hang on, bear with me. I'm going to
right.
I need to see how big this guy is.
He's
Pretty
2
big.
meters tall, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Emeric and him are actually quite close, because Emeric's 6'4".
Emeric's a tall boy.
So Emeric's actually only looking just a bit up at him, not much actually, though. Like
absolutely. This guy stands up, and I'll describe Goliaths for those who aren't super familiar with D&D, and I promise I will try and do this more and more for those who aren't very familiar with D&D races. Goliaths are humanoids. They are generally very stony grey skin. They're related to giants historically, and in the world of Nostea, they were very closely linked to the giants. And then when the giants left, the Goliaths lost their purpose for a while and then reclaimed it during the ruin as mighty warriors. They are generally very honourable, very strong. They generally live in small clan groups up towards the north of Oceania and a number of other continents over to the east. They're very, very strong generally, very, very honourable, make great fighters and barbarians if you're playing them as a class. This Goliath stands up and, not really looking down at you, but looks at you and goes, "You have got ale on my jacket."
Oh. Well, look, that's not my problem now, is it? You bumped into me, mate.
I was sitting, mate.
I think I would know, alright.
He reaches over to his companion, takes the flagon of ale from him, this tabaxi female who looks at him and goes, "Hey, I was drinking that." And he just slowly pours it over your head and looks at you and goes, "There, you have learned manners."
Is he standing up now?
Yeah, he stood up immediately and...
I snicker.
Oh, okay.
And I clock him in the face.
You punch him.
I punch him in the face.
Make me an unarmed strike roll.
Oh, alright, I'm just going to do a d20.
Yeah.
I rolled a nat.
Nat 20.
Wow.
Do you...
Wow.
Have you ever
I'm
rolled
also-
a nat 20 yet? Jesus.
Oh my god.
I have a few times.
That is
Oh.
super impressive.
I'm actually with my other hand as well.
Yep.
So I don't know if that does anything extra.
Oh, you're using your right hand.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll me a d6 for your damage? As we'll reveal something that you see. 2. And can you roll me a d100 really quickly too as well? I just want to see what happens with this. 44, yeah. Emeric, as you just wind back and with no warning at all, you just come around with this haymaker slamming into the side of his head. As you do so, the gloves that you normally wear over this hand split. The sheer force of this punch smashing into the chin of this Goliath. He gets knocked down onto one of his companions straight away. His eyes flutter, unconsciousness drifting across his face as you deal 8 damage in a single punch straight to his face. The glove that normally
It'd be more
keeps
actually
your...
too, because it's plus 3 strength.
Plus your strength. Yeah, 11. Yeah, so that 11 damage in one hit straight to his face. He's reeling. He seems dazed and confused. The ruined glove that normally keeps your right hand covered slowly slips off, revealing not flesh, but a mechanical construct arm. Very delicate gears encased inside plate metal, articulated joints carved out of this very nice wood that's then been covered in plate metal. And then at the top, right near the join to your upper elbow, you can see some pipes leading up towards into your arm. There's a pause and silence as all the people around take a look at you. Can I get you to make me an intimidation check with advantage, please?
Alright.
Or do you say or do anything straight after?
So basically after I've done that, I look at everyone and go, "Come on guys, don't you love a brawl?"
So everyone very quickly goes back to their drink, doesn't want to start any shit with you.
Oh.
However,
You want to move the man's face with one punch.
Yeah.
So basically everyone,
Yeah,
by the
One
way,
Punch Man.
for all the
One Punch
viewers at
Man.
home, Emeric only has one arm. He actually has the other arm is a
it's a
prosthetic
magic
arm.
item. Yeah, magic item called an arcane prosthesis that was added in the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron, was it? Or the
Yeah,
believe
I
it
think
was.
it's Eberron.
Into the Eberron module. Really cool module. Check it out. However, as your hand is revealed, a voice from behind you goes, Emeric?
I turn around.
You immediately recognize the tabard, the icon across the chest of this halfling. It's a bull's head, black, with large horns, dipped in red on the tips. You recognize this as the tabard of the Black Bulls.
Emeric, he looks and goes,
What?
"Oh, fuck."
And that's where we're going to jump back to Azure and Wiltix. So you guys have tied up.
That did not work out the way I wanted.
You guys have tied up this innocent man. Well, he's a corpse. Tied up this innocent corpse to the stakes. What are you two doing now? What's your plan currently?
All right, so Wiltix, I think we grab Leosin and start heading towards.
Well, before we
Emeric.
do, I think we should possibly. I mean, I don't know what your thought was as well, but I thought we were going to wait for the brawl to start, and then we could hopefully move through a bit more freely to get.
So what I will say is,
here.
from here, it's going to be very hard for you guys to hear or even see where this brawl is, unless the brawl starts encompassing the whole camp and the whole camp turns on each other. You guys are very far away from Emeric right now, and there's a number of tents and structures in between you. You are more than welcome to start moving through the camp. You're going to have to sort of be roughly about here, sort of 50, 60 feet away to be able to sort of see the brawl, just because of the way that the mercenary tents are set up. They're in their own cordoned off section of the camp, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should
before we
move through
do
the
we want
tents.
to? I was going to say, do you want to just ask? Leosin said that he's been watching and learning information. I heard him speak to you when you were taking him off the cross. Do we want to learn anything? I mean, we're here.
That's a good idea.
If there's an opportunity that he thinks we can to get in, or if he thinks it's even
worth us trying to venture in, I'm sure he might know. He's been in a
All right, let's
perfect
do it.
position to watch.
Yeah, let's do it. So maybe if we go into that tent that he's in at the moment, and we'll kind of use it as a
Cover.
staging point.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, you guys head into the tent. You can see Leosin's there, just finishing off the last of the rations that you shared with him, Azure. He looks towards the both of you and goes, Wiltix, wasn't it? I'm really grateful for my rescue, thank you. I was a bit rude earlier, I'm sorry. I am very grateful to be rescued. It's just, this poses such a great threat to everyone, what this order are doing here.
Oh, I can't disagree with you, Leosin, but unfortunately we are just a small group at the moment, so unless there's some information you'd be happy to share about maybe what they've got inside the cave, or any way that we could help hinder them before escaping, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit. I know that it is off limits to everyone, but those who've been cleared by Mondath. And Resmir as well. Resmir is the one who's been torturing me. Black Dragonborn. Or half-dragon? How do you tell? Very high up in the cult structure. I think I've heard them referred to as a worm speaker. I'm not sure what that means fully, but it sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard the term somewhere before. They want to know how I know about them, what I've been learning, and who I've shared this knowledge with. But the back of the cave, so you have to be approved by Mondath and Resmir. It's only a very few people who are allowed in there, a handful of guards and some kobolds. It's called the nursery by those in the know around here. And from what I've overheard, they're planning to hatch a clutch of dragon eggs there.
Well, that makes sense. That aligns with what we've heard. We found a prisoner in the town that we came from, and there was talk of that they'd stolen dragon eggs.
Right, okay.
Do you know if there would be anyone else inside at the moment, or just the guards on front?
Oh, I've got no idea who comes and goes. I haven't been paying too much attention to who is coming and going from the cave. The guards would just be representing a very small proportion of the total people who are allowed in there and who come and go. I've got no idea, sorry.
Okay.
What about the rest of the goings-on of this camp? I mean, is there guard change? What time is it? Okay. I mean, if we start moving.
Yeah, roughly sundown, sunset, and sunrise is the two main times. During the middle of the day and the middle of the night, there's a half shift change. Not all the guards switch over then, just a small proportion of them. I mean, I know a fair bit. I can tell you now. We can wait till we get out. I know that the area around the back of the caves to the south here, where the prisoners have been digging and breaking rocks, I know that's going to be our best chance to get out of here in one piece.
Perfect. Well, that's a lot better than our idea of going through the front door.
unless you've got some way of disguising yourselves, we're going to need to sneak out of here.
Look, we have some robes, but if you think that's going to be a safe option with least resistance, I think that's probably our best bet.
I mean, it could be, especially as the sun goes down. Darkness would be our friend here. I mean, you could always tie me up again and be moving me through as a prisoner. If you can disguise my face, maybe we can get out of here.
Oh, we can definitely give that a go. What do you think as well?
That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, our idea of walking straight out the front door was probably bold.
I mean,
and I don't know if they would have expected it.
I was always the one to come up with the plans, Azure. It doesn't surprise me greatly. You tend to rush pretty headlong into things like this. How you've survived without me, I'll never know.
Well, it's thank goodness we found each other again.
How I've survived without you, I am not sure either. Luck, mostly.
Well, that goes for both of us, but... Alright, so we wait till dark. And then we make our move.
Yeah.
He sort of leans forward and looks out the tent, goes, I think our time is now. The sun has set behind the back of the plateau. I think we're good to go.
And before, we need to make sure we get our comrades, who are probably ready to make a bit of a scene.
Where are they? Where would we find them?
Well, our friend Emeric has headed off to the mercenaries to start up a bit of a friendly brawl.
Right.
And,
okay.
Nice little scuffle.
Nice little scuffle to create a bit of a diversion and get some guards on the move. And our Dragonborn friend Mira is going to start lighting some tents to the north.
Right, okay. Well, let's get moving then. We can pick them up on the way. What do you reckon?
Let's do it.
Well, sounds good. And so, have we all decided here that we'll leave the cave? There's obviously no way.
Do you have any idea if there's an entrance to the cave further east?
No, I've got no idea. Sorry. The only entrance I know is this one here. I know that there's been talk of moving most of the force elsewhere in the next few days. So maybe we could bide our time and attack them when they're weakest.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Owen, can I also do just a history check on that worm speak you were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
23?
Oh,
23.
Nice.
You motherfucker. So you have heard of the title of Worm Speaker before from a very, very, very long time ago. So part of your training and monster hunting and ways to deal with your blood curse when you were a little bit younger. Part of your training included studying other organizations and other groups that were known throughout the lands at various points in time. And one of the ones that you remember was the Order, the Cult of the Dragon. And you've heard about them before. I think you've been the one to do the history checks successfully for them the whole way through the campaign, actually. So that works really well. Yeah. So you know that there are a number of ranks in the cult. Or historically there were. You're not sure if it's changed now, but you remember that there was the ranks were there was the Claw, so the Dragon Claw, the Dragon Wing, the Dragon Fang, the Dragon Soul, and at the very top the Worm Speaker. And there's only a limited number of Worm Speakers. You're not sure how many there are, but you think it's tied to the colors of the chromatic dragons. So you think like for every single color of chromatic dragons, there's a specific Worm Speaker. But that's all you really know about that.
Okay, so as far as I'm aware, there might be like half a dozen Worm Speakers around, but aside from that, it's going to be pretty hard to get inside.
Yeah. That's, I mean, half a dozen as you sort of say that, and you think like, yeah, that's pretty close to how many you think there might be.
Okay, well, I'd share with the Ocean and Azure, what limited knowledge I do have about Worm Speakers. But yeah, I suppose not much I can do about it now. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Azure, Leosin, do we want to start heading off towards, say, Mira would probably be closest to.
Yes, I think we head west first, and then we'll cross north, so we get out of as far away from that central tent as possible.
Yeah, a very sound plan. I know that's where Resmir and some of the other leaders are located, and I mean they will recognize me straight away.
Okay. Do we have
unless we hide my face somehow?
Yeah,
Would we have a cloak? Like, would we have had?
We've still got the cross robes, don't we?
You've got one each, yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking whether we give him one to put the hood up.
Well, the other problem with that though is that when we came in, people actually noticed that we were still wearing those robes. So I suppose there's two ways to look at it. The guards that were on the doors, Owen, are they wearing the same robes that we were wearing when we came in?
They're wearing
similar.
Not the robes specifically. They're wearing very dragon culty armor, shall we say. The armor seems to be very reminiscent of dragon-like appearance. The breastplate has been designed to look almost a little bit like scales. The cloak is cut in such a way that it almost resembles wings as the wind catches it. But they're not wearing the robes that the common cultists are wearing.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, the robes are probably better than prisoner garb, but in terms of face, I mean, I can do the minor illusion on his face. Once I get 30 feet away from the cross anyway, they're going to realise that
something is up, but hopefully it's dark enough by this point.
Yeah, so I can do maybe a crude mask or something on your face, or just try and give you a bit of a different styling of haircut, I suppose, Leosin. What would you like to go with?
Anything you can do that makes me look like not me.
I really would like to do the fake nose and glasses kind of thing, just a disguise. But we'll go with something a little bit more serious. I'll go for maybe just a different. If I'm doing a minor illusion, if I can do a covering over his head with I don't know. He's got brown hair. I'm seeing by the image that we're looking on.
Yeah.
Behind there.
Yeah. So he's got brown hair, slightly pointed ears, a little bit of facial hair. Very similar style to Azure's facial hair actually. His just sort of carries around a little bit more down the side of the cheeks. So it's a bit of chin dusting and then up the cheeks, a little bit across the nose and mouth.
Okay. Well, if I do just a covering that would be over the top of his head and over his ears, so make him look more human with say blonde hair and. Maybe just try and change up the facial features a bit. Maybe make his face look a little bit fatter or rounder, I suppose. Because I can't really do much.
Your plan is, as you guys move, you're just going to continually cast this spell as you guys are moving along.
Just leave it over the top of his head, unless he decides to run, I suppose, or do any big movements. Do you want
to make me a sleight of hand check to see how sneakily you can cast this?
Sure can. A 6.
Oh dear.
So basically,
don't make any rapid movements.
You're moving your hands about, muttering under your breath as you continually cast this incantation. And Leosin looks at you and goes, people might notice that you're casting a spell there, Wiltix.
Fine, Leosin. I can give you a haircut.
Can I borrow your hat, maybe, and just pull it low over my head?
Oh, see, you never ask a gnome for his hat.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know.
No, look, Leosin. I'll do it for you this one time, but I'm going to have to ask you to not tell anyone.
So yeah, Wiltix, for podcast listeners, has a very Legend of Zelda Link reminiscent hat, which is a very long pointed hood-like hat that has this gold metal bracing on the top. It's this dark, rich red, and it sort of goes down to almost your waist. It's a very
it would go quite low. It's I'd say, as you say, down to the waist. Very.
It's on the ocean. Yeah, he looks good. He doesn't quite fit his head. He sort of uses his hair to hold it in place.
But,
he bunches up his hair.
I'll let him wear my hat.
Yeah. Alrighty, Emeric, we'll jump back to you because I think this is going to affect what happens with Mira. And Mira will jump to you as things go on. So Emeric, as you turn around and see this halfling that calls out your name, a hand drops on your shoulder from behind you again. As you spin around to the halfling, a hand drops on your shoulder. and it is a human woman with the very Viking reminiscent haircut, so long blonde hair that's been shaved completely on one side, braided on the other, piercing blue eyes, and she looks at you and looks at the Goliath who you've just knocked out and goes, You have knocked out my friend?
Oh, well, it wasn't exactly my fault. He dunked ale on me.
You punched him in the face. And as you're saying this, the halfling goes, No, I need to speak to Emeric. He's my responsibility. She turns and goes, Quiet, small boy. And then looks back to you.
Look, I don't like you both fighting over me. It just makes me feel so special.
The halfling goes, You're not special, you're a pain in my ass, Emeric. I'm going to kill you for what you did to him.
What's his name, by the way, the halfling?
The halfling.
Do I remember from...
Yeah, I'll just quickly pull open my name.
Because if Emeric remembers... If he...
Yeah, you absolutely would remember his name.
Alright.
His name is Tomas. Tomas.
So I'm going to look at him and go, Hey, Topaz, just relax.
The Viking, seeing Tomas pulling out an axe, throws you to the ground behind her. If you let her, do you want to resist? She sort of pushes past you almost.
I'll, as she pushes me, I'm gonna do an... Alright. Okay, so it's not that great. I'm gonna make it look pretty dramatic, and I'm gonna actually fling myself into other people.
So you sort of go to pretend to make it look like she's thrown you really heavily, but she sort of lets go, and you then throw yourself, so it's really clear that you've thrown yourself. You're like, whoa! as you drop forwards.
Emeric used to play football.
Yeah, he's taken a dive. Soccer for Aussie listeners.
Sorry.
50% of the audience, Claire. We've got to speak their language.
Sorry.
Our language, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Emeric takes a dive and goes straight down. Emeric takes a dive and very clearly takes a dive as this Viking woman sort of pulls her shield forwards and it clangs against the axe heave from this halfling. He looks around and goes, He's not fucking worth this. You don't know who this man is. She goes, No, but I am going to kill him for what he did to my friend, or at least rough him up a little. He goes, No, you don't understand. He's a murderer. She goes, Oh, well then we have something in common. And then she pushes him back with the shield. What are you doing at this point, Emeric?
So I stand up and dust myself off, and I look at the other guys that I just sort of jumped into. Are they just bystanders? Like they're not included in either of these parties?
It looks like that it is a combination of members of the Green Heart, the Red Suns, and now you can spot a few people who've arrived recently, who weren't here before, but have arrived recently bearing the Black Bull head.
So I look at the Green Heart and the Red Suns, and I look at the
Goliath you punched out was a member of the Green Heart.
Okay, I look at
the Green Heart too. Yeah,
I look at the Red Suns, and I rolled high on intimidation before, and I knocked out that guy with my fist. I look at them and go, "Fellas, you like a bit of violence, don't you? Jump on these guys! Jump into this combat right now, otherwise you'll end up like that guy on the floor."
A gnome who is bearing many symbols of the Red Suns, and even has a blazing red sun emblem tattooed on his forehead. Long beard, dyed red, jumps up and goes, "Yeah, let's get him, boys!"
I shout at the top of my lungs, "Fight!"
Do you want to make me a persuasion or performance? I guess. Yeah.
Either way, either one.
Either one. You can choose. You have advantage. Sorry, no, you do have advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got advantage for this.
I got pretty into it.
13, make friends and influence people.
Well, you've also got advantage because of the way you've handled the situation. Yeah, so absolutely, that is enough. The Red Suns, who relish combat and have now been their attention drawn to this area. Before, you were mostly around the Green Heart, who are not particularly known for engaging in playful bouts of combat. The Red Suns, now seeing this Viking woman and this halfling just going for it, get right into it. They are fully on board. You see a number of humans, half-elves, one or two other Goliaths, tabaxi, a couple of Dragonborn running in, brandishing weapons and just going to town on each other.
Wow.
The Green Heart immediately start grabbing their things, some of them forming a defensive barrier while the rest try to move. They're moving through the tents towards the south. You can hear cries and shouting. One of the members of the Black Bulls, a person you don't recognize, turns towards Tomas and goes, "I don't understand. Who is this fucker?" It's a mountain dwarf. And Tomas is sort of fending off this shield bash from the Viking warrior. Turns and goes, "This fucker killed Gambino in cold blood, the man who raised him." And the dwarf goes, "Who the fuck's that?" And then is punched in the back of the head by a member of the Red Suns and drops down.
Oh my god, none of us are over there. None of us know what's going on.
Yeah, you're just hearing this big ruckus. As I will, just quickly, I'll interject, sorry.
Yeah, no.
As all this is happening, I'll start trying to meld into the background.
I'd say that you can make me a stealth check with advantage given the amount of shit that's going on around you right now.
So look, that's just going to be a flat roll.
There you go.
Fuck.
Oh, natural 20. Emeric, his job done, his deeds successful, just melts backwards.
So as I meld in and I start leaving the crowd, I'll go, "Guards! There's a brawl over here, guards!"
Oh, nice.
I'll start
Where do you want to move, by the way? Where are you headed to? Just your character.
Look, I honestly don't know that Mira is actually over here.
Okay.
So I'm going to start making my way probably south because I knew that's where these guys were. So I'm going to start heading back over here because that's where Emeric knew everyone was going. Mira's over here.
Perfect.
So I'll probably just say I'm over here for now, maybe.
As you start calling out, like, "Guards! Guards!" A number of cultists start running toward the area. A group of kobolds start, like, handing out small chips of money. It looks like they're taking bets. As they sit back and watch, and one of them's like, "I've got 3-1 on the red ones." And one of the kobolds goes,
"It's a stupid deal. Of course they're gonna win. The Red fucking Suns."
It's funny that kobolds now all sound like chain smokers from like the West.
"Oh yeah, let's go get them, boys."
It's alright. Emeric sort of sounds like a chain smoker at times.
It does sometimes. Mira, your earlier perception check would have made it very hard for you to hear this, except for the fact that Emeric has now started summoning all the guards in the area. You can't help but see movement. People running towards the tents where the mercenaries were. You can hear shouts. Occasionally screams as people are cut. What are you doing?
Okay, well, that's my cue. I've been just sitting here silently for ages. I will...
I'm sorry.
No, Mira, not me.
You were just biding your time.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm like, Mira knows nothing. Mira knows nothing. Claire knows everything. That's fine.
It's just really fun when the character and the player know very different things. I enjoy that.
Yeah. So, no, I'm enjoying myself. Mira has not been enjoying herself. She's very nervous. But she's like, all right, I know what I got to do. And she will cast Burning Hands on the tent in front of her.
Yeah, so this is a much smaller tent.
Actually, I should say, is there flammable, like what looks flammable?
So probably say that all of this has gone for about 45 minutes, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. So Emeric's been gone for about an hour and a half. You've been separate from those two down the bottom for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Maybe you know how you said I was busy.
Yeah, you've had time to do stuff. So there is a number of there's a number of hay bales towards the back here that you have had time to sort of push into position if you want. You had a bit of a look around for anything more flammable than that. Maybe some firewood stacked up against the back of one of the tents you can see there on the map. Coincidentally, there also happens to be a little bit of firewood right there. You've had time to set that up too. Basically, if you wanted to set up something here, you absolutely have had time to do that. So
yeah, she's
area.
done that. She's done that, and it's all like beautifully organized. Like,
do you want to make me a sleight of hand check?
Beautiful.
as you construct this bonfire between
6.
the tents. It's all right. Like
She's
there's-
nervous.
Yeah, you're a little bit, and you keep looking up at this guard tower, and every time it looks like they're coming back, you have to quickly hide, and you're hoping they don't notice that there's this bonfire constructing itself below them. But in classic human fashion, they don't tend to look down or up. They're mostly just sort of eyes locked to the horizon. And you were able to construct a reasonable bonfire. You reckon if you set this thing off, you might be able to get some of, if not all of the tents in this blaze, depending on how much fire you can produce. And where do you want to set yourself up to start burning?
Here.
Fantastic.
And she'll cast. Yeah, so Burning Hands is a 15-foot cone.
It is. It's huge.
Yeah. And.
Light it up, Claire.
Pardon? I am going to
Light it up.
Blaze.
So it says that the fingers touch,
Yeah.
and the fingers are spread, and there's a thin sheet of flames that come out from my fingertips.
Yeah.
So within a 15-foot cone.
As the time hits 4:20, Mira blazes it.
Wow.
You see this cone of fire, tinged with any frost.
Be a full blown. This would be full fire.
Yeah, okay, full fire. So yeah, as Mira sort of summons and concentrates, and then opens the red eye, fire leaps from her hands and tickles across the tents. It very quickly increases in power and intensity as Mira starts to focus. This beam of fire growing quickly into a full cone. This roaring inferno burning across the tents before cutting out in an instant, leaving a couple of tents on fire. Can you roll me a percentile dice, please, Mira?
Oh my god.
It does say fire ignites any flammable object.
It does, yeah. The percentile dice is for something else.
Oh, okay.
I want to see what
Oh, no.
happens with this.
Yeah, I also rolled
Explosion?
one before.
85? Ooh.
85.
God.
All of the
Gasoline?
tents catch fire, and the force from this blast from your hand sends
Oh, no.
embers rocketing into the sky. A plume of smoke rising very, very quickly, which is good for you, as the smoke obscures you in the darkness even more. If you'd rolled very low on the percentile dice, the tents would have caught fire, but it wouldn't have been as much of a sudden inferno, and you might have been visible standing in the firelight in front of these things to that guard tower. But with the smoke burning up and you quickly dissolving back into the shadows, you think you might have avoided detection. Certainly there's no cries of alarm going, "Oh, there's a Dragonborn there setting fire to our shit." It's more
I
sort of
kind of wanted
suddenly-
to run. I wanted to run.
Yeah, what do you want to run to?
So while everyone's looking
Yep.
up or whatever, I want to run across. So should I do dash or
You
how
can
far
dash.
could I
That's
get?
just so dash means you can move 60 feet if your current movement is 30 feet.
I can get all the way over here. Perfect.
Yeah. So as you run down, what's your passive perception, Mira?
10.
And what's your passive perception, Emeric?
11.
You guys don't spot each other. As you just sprint through the darkness in the same direction from different locations. You don't see each other. What you do hear, though, both of you hear this with your passive perceptions. You hear a horn sounding out, cries of alarm as guards start to move towards the mercenary camp. Then spy the fire, start moving towards the fire, and then hear more damage going on in the mercenary camp, and are a little bit torn about where they want to go. But yeah, this horn starts to cry out. This
Perfect.
Fantastic horn.
It actually
so-
worked.
Leosin and Wiltix. I know your plan worked. Leosin and Wiltix. Azure and Wiltix. You hear as this horn sounds across the chasm. Leosin turns to you both and goes, were you waiting on a signal? Because I think others are going to hear that.
I think that's our time to move.
Let's go.
It sounds like
Take the
ruckus. All right.
Azure and Wiltix, you guys are in the lead. Leosin will follow you.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we'll move.
I think we go around the
this
back,
way.
hugging the wall. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Absolutely. As soon as you guys leave the tent, you see flames licking up to the north of camp. A series of tents caught on fire. You can see kobolds scrabbling out from underneath the tent. A few cultists screaming as they are burning to death, trying to leave
Oh my
these
God.
tents. Oh yeah, there were people sleeping in here. As you guys sprint across the battlefield. But Mira's passive of 11. Sorry, no, you were 10, weren't you?
10.
Mira's
10.
passive of
I'm
10.
11.
Perceptive.
And your perception of 2, no, you don't notice anything. As you sort of blast this fire, there's sort of a moment of confusion inside the tent, and then people start to try and run away, but you're already sprinting across the camp at this point. Yeah, you guys head up this way. As you come around this rock, you see Mira. And Mira, what would you be doing at this point?
She'd be like a little smudged and just kind of running
Some
up
soot.
and just looking. She's looking along the edge to see if they've managed to get up the edge yet. Yeah.
So Azure, Wiltix, and Leosin dodge behind the back of these tents towards the south of camp, moving quickly between the tents that house prisoners, jumping over piles of rocks, sleeping people, very, very quickly, very silently moving through the night as the sounds of chaos come from the north. You guys round the side here, and you see Mira, covered in soot, probably panting slightly from effort, would you say? Suddenly casting a spell, then sprinting across the camp. Yeah, maybe a slight... just a little bit out of breath there. And Leosin sort of grabs the back of your cloaks really quickly and goes, "There's a dragon just there."
Yes, that's Mira, the one we told you about.
Oh, my apologies.
It seems like her distraction has worked.
He moves up towards you, Mira, and bows very, very solemnly, puts one hand on the side of his chest and bows, one hand across the heart. "Mira, it is an honor to meet you. I apologize for my reaction. There's been a Dragonborn torturing me for the last few days, and I'm sorry."
Appreciate the politeness, but we should get out of here. Is there
Mira.
anything? Yes.
Well met. Your distraction is amazing.
Oh,
Have you seen
I
Emeric?
I took my cue from Emeric. He should be here soon.
Oh, there he is.
So normally in D&D the way things work is you guys ask what you want to do, and I get you to roll a dice to see if things happen. But we've decided we're just going to skip that. You guys just say what you want to happen and happen.
I was making my way down.
Emeric makes his way down, and it's.
I was making my way down south, so.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you spot Emeric.
I was making my way downtown.
Yeah,
He was
making
walking
way
fast.
downtown.
Walking fast.
Walking fast.
Making my way down camp, walking fast, shit's on fire.
And I'm homebound. Oh,
You guys do see Emeric approaching.
hello, friends.
Well met, Emeric. So, this is Leosin, and
Pleasure.
I shake his hand and go, it's good to see you haven't died horribly.
this smoke. Oh my god, it's getting to me.
As he grasps.
I know.
Oh boy.
Leosin has said that there's an escape route to the south.
So more. I think I meant like we head round to the south and then up towards the west where we're currently going as well. I mean, we could climb the cliffs if you want to head out that way.
No, your way sounds good.
Emeric, as Leosin takes your hand to shake it, I'm guessing this is your right hand you've offered?
Yeah, I will actually.
Yeah, he grasps it and then sort of starts a little bit and then looks down at your hand and goes, "Oh, my apologies, sorry." And lets go and sort of takes his hand away very gingerly.
Come on, I offered it to you. You don't have to be like that.
I'm
very happy to hear that you didn't die horribly.
Thanks. That's good to hear.
Tortured mercilessly.
You're very loud. Aren't we trying to be sneaky and escape?
Sorry. Well, there's all that.
Yes.
I just got out of a brawl I just started. Might have seen a few old friends. I clocked this guy and I show everyone my hand. You guys might have seen I had a glove on before. I may have hit someone really, really hard. He could be dead. I don't know.
Goodness, that is one mighty strike.
So yeah, as you look at Emeric's hand, you can all see that it is this. No other way to describe it apart from like a robotic mixture of magic and tech. This robotic-looking hand, middle-age style robotics. So lots of articulated wood, gears, pipes, and then all of it's been cast and clad in this very fine plate armor to make it look more humanoid underneath or make it look more realistic underneath clothing, and also to protect it as well, these delicate parts inside. But now that the glove has been torn off, you can very clearly see this is not his hand. This is a construct hand of some sort.
Yes. I might have lost my arm in a combat. Not really a combat, it was more of a sacrificial ordeal. It was good fun. Not really
We
shit time.
should speak about that at another time when things are not so much on fire.
I agree.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm just so worked up. I have all this adrenaline running through my veins. I saw this little prick of a halfling called Thomas. Old company of mine. But no, we should start running along, shouldn't we, gents?
Yes, that's I think it's time to make our move, guys.
Where are we going?
Leosin, would you like to lead the way?
Just quickly, Leos, is there anyone else here we could liberate?
I mean, we could try and liberate the prisoners, but
is there any treasure? All the guards are over there.
Oh yes,
free
there was
of everything.
But well, they're not there anymore.
We don't know.
Alrighty, as you guys talk for a bit of time, things happen. You guys see... I'm going to bring the map over here.
So yeah, we'll be definitely hiding, I guess, behind these huts.
I'm keeping your stealth check before, and you guys have positioned yourselves really nicely. What were you going to say? Sorry, Wiltix?
I was just going to let Mira know that your boyfriend's here and looking for you as well.
I mean, the timing on that could not be better. As you say that, Wiltix,
fuck,
you hear a voice call out from the darkness.
Mira, I know that's you.
Shit.
And you see, moving between the tents, moving slowly, checking behind areas, is the very familiar form of Langdodrosa, framed in the firelight. Flamed in the firelight. Framed in the firelight. I did it. I got through that sentence. Moving slowly between the tents, checking things and moving, going.
So
I will find you, Mira.
Emeric sees or hears this.
Oh no.
Oh, I've got a thing or two to sort out with this guy.
Not while he's surrounded by hundreds of guards.
So as I start walking, would you sort of like stand in front of me and grab me?
Yes.
I look you in the eye and go, fine.
It's not fine. I kind of put my hand on your chest, like gently, and I'm
all right. Yeah.
We'll deal with him another day.
All right.
Distract him, but we need to run. We need to run.
We do need to
Where are we
move.
going? Let's go.
If you want to go back for others or whatever, we can distract him, but we need to run. I need to run.
Well, Leosin said that they are moving camps shortly, so I believe that if we want to help free anyone, that might be our opportune time.
Where did Leosin actually direct us to go, by the way? Like to
back
escape?
at the main entrance, pretty much. As you guys start to move away, you hear Langdodrosa going,
It's very kind of you, Mira, to accept my offer. Join me in camp. But all this hiding, all this chaos, is this really what you want?
Don't say anything to him.
as he moves around the tents and towards the mercenary camp.
We'll get the bastard another time.
Mira.
Well, I know I certainly will.
Mira, like, holding on to Emeric's fake arm.
Okay, yeah. The last thing you hear is you guys move far enough away that you can't hear him anymore. You hear him go,
Really, Mira? It's not as bad as you all think it is. We're doing something special, Mira, for you. For me.
and you continue moving away. The rest of what he was going to say lost as you move out of earshot.
I'll stand, yeah. We'll stay here.
Alrighty, you guys move up to the main gate. At this point, it is very, very unguarded, as a number of people are rushing in, trying to figure out what's going on. Currently, the gate is only guarded by 4 kobolds, who are looking in confusion, sort of looking around, not really paying much attention. If you guys skirt around that side of the tent...
Wiltix, demon dog.
Oh, well, I got my hands together, and I'm going to put a lovely demon dog right... Oh, how far away? We can do it, 30 feet, I believe is my...
You've got 30 feet. 30 feet for minor illusion, yep.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so I'm going to put it... probably try and do it around the side of the tents, if I can get just on the other side of that part there.
You can move it now. I've given you control. You can put it where you want it.
I'm assuming that'd probably be right on my 30 feet there.
Absolutely, and you have it. Just turn. Do you want to make the bark noise again, or are you just going to have it silent?
Oh no, I'll definitely have the bark noise to try and distract me.
Well, do you have any other spells like prestidigitation or something that can actually make?
Oh no, I literally only have the one at the moment. That's all I got.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to make as much use to it as I can.
and werewolf powers.
Oh no!
Performance of 3, so it's going to be a big. I would assume like the German Shepherd that we have on screen, and it's going to probably sound like a Chihuahua.
Let's just you hear Wiltix go woof, 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 bark, bark, growl.
The noise a dog makes.
Nah, it's not quite that bad, but it is a natural one. A natural one would have been that where you just go meow. No, your attempts at barking, very clearly, you sort of go to throw your voice, but you throw it in the wrong direction. And you throw it here, sort of right in front of where you guys are about to run to. The kobolds turn around as they spot the dog and they hear the barking. They turn around and they see all of you guys sort of coming out from behind the tents as this happens.
I will actually.
Go,
can you hear me?
Yeah, where'd you?
So I'm up. I'll move up ahead, and I'm sort of going off what I've done in the past. I'm going off the same experience. I'll walk up to them in a real intimidating fashion, and I'll look at them all, and in Draconic I'll say, "What are you all doing here? Get to the brawl now and sort it out!"
Given the parameters you described, you don't even have to make a roll. If you run up to them dressed in full armor, shouting in Draconic, they sort of like throw a very shitty salute, like hit themselves in the eye while they're doing the salute, and then begin to run, avoiding the death dog past the guard tower. One of the kobolds sort of hangs at the back and looks at you and goes,
"What about the dog?"
"Don't worry about the dog. I'll handle it."
"Okay."
"Run now!"
Just start running away down towards the south.
So everyone else, how would everyone else have heard in Draconic what I just said, Owen?
Does anyone speak Draconic?
I do.
No. What? Can you give us a bit of a demonstration of Draconic?
You want to hear what Draconic sounds like?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So the kobolds sound like
Raktur Vikam Wak Yakvar Jiva.
That's what you hear.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Why did you make me do that?
I just wanted to see how you would react to it and how you would sort of put your spin on it. I enjoyed it.
I was thinking, oh, hey, bro, we're just some little kobolds going to be heading down to the south. Now that's goblins. Goblins. So you guys. I'm only doing this, New Zealand, out of jealousy because your country's not on fire right now. You guys make your way out of camp. I think that's the perfect time for a quick break, and we will come back with part 2 of episode 6.
Perfect.
Nice.
Really well done. You managed to pretty much get through that avoiding combat. I'm really impressed. You got some low rolls, but you got the high rolls where it counted, and you actually managed to get through that without any combat, because that could have been pretty nasty.
Oh yeah, because we all split up as well.
Yeah.
Especially when you guys
We
were
were not
describing
together.
splitting up, I was sitting here thinking like, alrighty, so we're gonna do some backup characters and have those ready to go. But no, really well done.
A plan in D&D that actually worked.
Came out.
That's impossible.
Yeah, you guys ran that really well.
I'm really happy with how the brawl sort of ended up working out. Like the green heart and the black bulls like started to duke it out, and then I got the red suns into it. I was like,
Got the red
this
suns
couldn't have gone
involved.
better.
Yeah, that was I mean, when you sort of said you were going to start a brawl, like in my mind, I'm like, all right, cool. You walk up to the Red Suns, you just like insult one of their mothers, job done. But the way you went about it was really cool, and it worked out really, really well in your favor in the end, knocking that dude out. Because when you rolled that damage, that was like most of his health. It was like, oh shit, no one's gonna fight you if you take out a Goliath in one punch. No one wants to touch you.
Because I'm like, fuck, have I just like fucked myself? Like, is no one actually gonna want to fight at all right now?
Was I too good? We're too awesome.
I was too awesome.
Because I know that I had a prosthetic arm, and it was made of metal. I knew if I clocked him, I'm like, that's why I said I'm hitting him with that arm. Do I do any extra damage? And you said 1d6. I'm like, fuck. I was thinking like a 1d4, but all right, let's go.
Because normally an unarmed strike is 1d4.
Yeah.
And for this instance, because of the way that you're doing
Oh
this,
man,
and it's
one arm
not like
strike's
in
normally
combat.
just 1 damage and then plus your strength.
You're proficient in unarmed strikes, aren't you? Though.
Maybe
Pretty sure you
I
are.
probably would. I'm not sure how it
Pretty sure you are.
works.
If you're proficient, you use a d4.
Well, there
same
you
as
go.
monks.
Okay,
Yeah, that's same as monks.
cool. So that just gives you a little bit more of a stat buff.
Yeah, if you're proficient in it, yeah, and it's not so much necessarily like. I mean, you're always better off using your halberd, to be
Oh,
honest.
halberd,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so it's not. I don't think it's going to come up too often.
It was so good for shock value though, just to like literally knock this Goliath out.
Even if you'd rolled a d4 with your +3, that still would have been nuts.
Yes.
Still would have been a lot of health. Like, they're just mercenaries. They're not anything too strong.
But no,
Alright, perfect.
Yeah, everyone did well.
We will see you guys. Yeah, you guys did amazing. We will see you all for part 2. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
See you, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.